All right, live, on time, on point, coming free of charge. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 214th live edition. A long time coming, highly anticipated, never duplicated, supplicated, underappreciated, and about you program. The only program featuring Nickel, standard, pin compensated talents, William Bishop, Blake Edwards, Staple, media, motivators, third round draft pick, name leader, three people, two attempts, one dream, broadcasting's finest train wreck. And about you is according to media presentation with YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Anchor FM, exclamation point. YouTube, all the other good places. You can get us anywhere. You can listen to us on
Spotify. That's pretty high speed.
The Treadmill.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Go search for us on do Enough About You, all mashed together with no spaces, all one word. And that will bring you right to us. Hit that follow button. Purchase from our advertisers, etc. And now here he is. He is Relogic's golden boy.
Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Absolutely not already on
he
that.
may or may not have pants on. He's
let's read this up.
He's the man, the myth, the legend,
just
the
did the wrong
Mr. William
camera
Bishop,
like an idiot.
the video game badge.
Okay. Dude, hi.
Hey, man.
Well,
Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you, dude. How you doing?
Rolling. I will just say my condition today is things got a little out of hand last night.
Okay.
I started off, and we did a little bit of Red Dead with Ash, to which you joined. You noticed?
No, I didn't join because
you didn't join. You joined the chat for a brief moment.
No, because I saw Badger get highlighted, and I just typed in my chat. I wasn't there at all. Sorry.
Okay.
If you talked at me during, I couldn't hear you.
Well, I did, and we had a thing.
Oh, you did?
You had a question for me.
Did I? Oh,
Yes.
I did. Oh no, I'm wrong. You're right. I did ask you about this. Yes.
Yeah, you had a question for me. So we did some Red Dead, and then I kicked over to Factorio for an evening. It was a great evening, and we went a little long, and it was very intense last night. It was very intense. Some of the most intense Factorio I've played. Normally, Factorio is not an intense, exciting game unless you're doing speed running or something. It's way more casual than it's not. However, last night it was a sub only base, so it's just, hey, help me pay for the server. All the subscribers can get in.
Subscribers.
And what ended up happening was it was fairly intense because we were getting attacked from all sides, and a bunch of subs joined in and to join the fight because there's subscribers who just love the fight.
Love goofing about.
Factorio. Some don't. Some shy away from it. Some love the fight. They all jumped in. And we were doing it, and then we went long because it was a battle, and somewhere around 1:45 a.m. we were wrapping up, getting a good defense around the wall, and we said, "Okay, good, we've done a nice thing." And then, as soon as we were just about ready to wrap up, power dies.
Oh no!
And we now converted all over to lasers, and the biters came in. It was a flood. They wrecked almost everything. We were in jeopardy of losing the base. So we had to, and this is a 4-stream, 5-stream base. We've got a day and change into it, and we did all that. Yeah, Allie Jane, right after you left, it hit the fan. So I wrapped the stream last night somewhere around 3:20 a.m.
Oh
after
my god, dude! I was
pulling
in bed. I was asleep.
Pulling it out of the jaws of defeat.
Wow.
Pulling victory out of the jaws of defeat. We think it was a bug. We don't know what happened because we had adequate power or whatever.
Like, the things you sent me, it calls me Evil Trick, I think. Like
check all of them though.
Is there one I messed up? You said
maybe.
Hold on, let me go back on this.
Because I have to make the new ones when I have a guest on.
Yeah, the new one you sent me has Evil Trick.
Oh, sorry.
It's
all right.
I'm Evil Trick today, I guess.
Oh no, that's it. The other ones. Leave the other ones. The 3 and the 4. I'll get those updated.
Well, I didn't do the 3 and the 4. This is just the 2.
Or the 2 and the 3 and the 4. Yeah,
The 2 has Evil Trick on there. You have to do the Photoshop.
I'm looking at the one I'm looking at the new one right now on screen.
Are you?
Yeah.
You sure?
I right above my head, being broadcast to us right now, is the good logo and the updated.
What's right beneath me?
Oh no, the text. The text has Evil Trick. Okay, right below you. Sorry, Photoshop. Never mind. This is welcome my new partner, Evil Trick.
I am cute. I'm tall. I got nice hair. I got good jeans. I'm down.
All true.
I am down.
All true. all true.
Let me.
All right, so I'll go and I'll jump in there and fix that one. The splash screen and then the 3-box should be fine because I don't think I put a name on those.
Okay, well, I'll have to do the 3-box when we get there.
Yeah, the 2-box and 3-box. But
anyway, that was a bunch of nonsense.
So, and here's the thing is that when I got off there, I was wired. We had just experienced some of the most intense.
This is how I feel after every stream, bro.
Yeah. Sometimes I can just walk off. I can walk straight into bed and go right to sleep.
Like, are you walking into bed?
Yeah, I can just walk straight over there and just crash out. Yeah, last night went a little deep, so it was a wreck. And and then one of the subs went, "Wait a second, is it really 4 a.m.?" It's like, yes, it is. Oh no, we went deep last night, so my condition is intense. And Allie Jane stayed up late with us for a little while. Shooting the bull, and then things went side. I mean, and probably right around we were going, okay, we did a great job. I was summarizing. We did a great job today, and we did a thing, and then it went sideways. It got way out of hand. So
that's nice. I thought the power went out in your house at first when you were telling me this.
No. Power went out in the base. We think it was a bug because nerd Factorio stuff is we were cruising around 500 to 700 megawatts or whatever based on lasers, and then our demand went right up to 9 gigawatts or something, and it went weird and just shut everything down. And then it was just beep 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 beep, and then just destruction all over. They just launched at us.
Well, that's fun.
Anyway,
yeah.
So I did. I 4 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. I set my alarm. I actually got up. And then I threw the kettlebell around. I did some push-ups. I did crunches. I did some exercise. I didn't do any cardio because I just couldn't. I don't know. I was still asleep, but I could do some stuff. I did a bunch of planks, bunch of crunches.
You look great today. Your hair, especially, looking
it's
good.
Floofy. It's floofy.
It's unkempt, I would call it.
Yeah. I comb it kind of upwards, and then just kind of brush it down, and it's floofy.
Is that you are going insane? You look fucking crazy right now, Blake. You look like an absolute...
Is it my eye?
I mean, the eye doesn't help, but then you have like this slight white stubble. Your hair is messed up.
Yeah.
You look like I've been inside too long. Yeah, you look like...
I probably need to comb my hair and shave and fix my eye, and I'll probably be right back to normal.
Yeah,
I feel okay.
Right now, okay.
I mean, I did all kinds of healthy stuff today. I woke up, exercised, took vitamins. I went back to sleep for about an hour.
My corpse is where I'm at right now.
I mean, if push came to shove, I could.
I mean, I think that you. I'm sorry. You would enjoy eating my corpse.
I would enjoy it. Okay. I would enjoy it. Right. So anyway, I just had an intense night, and so I didn't. I exercised.
Yeah. Wow.
Did the thing.
Till 3 a.m. is a long stream time, bud. What was the uptime?
Yeah. The uptime was 12 hours 45 minutes. So almost. Went over 12 hours. Because I started around
you want to be a streamer.
You want to be a streamer?
So you want that? That's a big uptime right there. Seriously.
That's big. That's big time. Yeah. I was going to do long one. I was going to do 8 hours, and then it was intense, so it stretched to about 10. And I went, okay, get into I think I started around 3 p.m. or so, 2:30, something like that.
Okay. Well, I'm really interested in what happened to your eye. Number one is the first thing. Okay. But I think we should do our Twitch stuff first.
Okay, we can.
Yeah. So we're alternating between sustains and failures, cons, but we did it last week.
So we have two things that we kind of do. Tips for being a better streamer that we have. So because Badger's been doing this a little over 5 years, and my 5 years is coming up on July 4th.
Yeah, so
America's birthday.
Yeah. Oh, really?
And Badger's been a partner for 2 years longer than I have, year and a half, something like that.
Flexing on you, homie.
But yeah, I mean he basically bought his way in.
I think it's weird because I was like the last wave of people who really had to become partner. Like after I became partner, the affiliate system came out.
Right.
And it's so much less valuable now to have a partnership because you have the button.
It is.
You get the sub button.
Everybody has a button.
Is a lot different too. It's like
average. Picture that in a world where there is no affiliate button.
Right. Which is whack. I mean, how many times on this show did we say during that era that why not? And then
why would you not
with their own button?
Right.
And then they actually kind of backpedaled on it a little bit.
Right. And Twitch forced your hand. Right. YouTube probably forced Twitch's hand and said, "All right, we're doing it."
Sort of. I think they definitely had an idea for the tier system too, like the tier 1, 2, tier 2, 3 subscribers from YouTube as well, because there's a lot of stuff that YouTube does that's different.
Right. But player 2 entering the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely had an effect on Twitch for sure.
I think that. I actually think.
And you, by the way, you and I were streaming when that happened. We got those tweets, and we were doing the thing, and then it says player 2 entered the game.
It was kind of YouTube Gaming came out, and it was actually prolific.
There's a thing.
A lot of people don't know. I think that the reason that I am a Twitch partner is because of my YouTube numbers, like YouTube live viewers is what it was. You know.
And it was great.
Like Chippy has been doing YouTube live streams for Terraria. He's getting 1,000 viewers. Like it's definitely not nothing. The numbers right now for YouTube streams are 1/3 of Twitch streams, and that was like last time we looked. YouTube's probably catching up, anyways. So we just
it was our first year. I cite these numbers. The first year that YouTube dropped, it was 18-1. So there were 18 Twitch streamers for one YouTube streamer live stream. Right. So VODs are different. VODs are a different story. YouTube dominates VODs, right?
Looking at that, yeah. Twitch doesn't do it.
But 18-1 was the first year after year 1 for YouTube. That's where they started. The next year it was 6-1. So 6 Twitch to 1 YouTube.
That's such an insane amount of growth as well. It's terrifyingly fast.
And then the very next year is 2-1. So it's 1/3 of the market.
It's getting pretty spicy with right. YouTube's algorithm is helping a lot with the live streams.
And I don't even know if they released numbers for that was 2018 was 2-1. 2019 numbers, I don't know that they were out. I haven't gone looking, but all of those numbers landed in my lap somehow. Either an article I read or a tweet that shared or a YouTube newsletter or something
people are talking
landed
about
in my lap.
I mean, I think the indication of Shroud getting bought out meant a lot. Sorry, the Shroud being bought out was an indication of the market diversifying such that you didn't have to necessarily be on a single platform, which is very often the problem when we started. Right? You couldn't really do live streaming on YouTube at the very start, and then you can do Beam now. I mean,
you do Beam, yeah.
Beam is
Mixer.
very, very tiny compared to you. Yeah, sorry. Oh my god, I called it.
By the way, Mixer.
Well, yeah, I can't believe I called it Beam.
It started out as Beamed Up Pro.
It was Beamed Up Pro. It.
And then it goes to it changed over to Mixer once Microsoft bought it and did the thing. So,
which is a better name, having a Mixer. And the Mixer boys are everywhere at conventions, aren't they? They're like
they are. They work it. They are okay. So if you roll into a PAX or any of these conventions, you will see, you'll kind of see YouTubers and content creators walking.
Can we do our top 5 tips before we get?
Last thing.
Super easy.
YouTube will not have a booth. Mm-hmm. Mixer will. Twitch will not have a booth.
Correct.
Mixer will.
A huge booth too. Like
and
doing all kinds of stuff.
If we run into the people that get that content creator badge, which badge probably has right next to his desk.
I do not actually.
The people who get the content creator badge, what is your estimation? Most of them are YouTubers, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
The yellow badge that says you're a content creator.
Probably a lot of them are YouTube, yeah.
I would say it's media/content creator. I would say majority of them are YouTubers.
Well, media is a bit different because I think media is like writers and like actual media.
Maybe, but
kind of what we are.
You and I. When we meet up with Twitch streamers, those are rare in those yellow badge circles.
Huh.
Like when we roll into a party that's all yellow badges, or we roll into an area that's all yellow badges, I don't recognize them as Twitch guys.
I think Twitch it used to be that Twitch partners 100% got a badge.
Right.
But I don't know about now. I think there's a little bit funky.
Right. So and to your point, correct. Jazzy did not have one, and therefore didn't have one. And so she didn't know, but she didn't get all the stuff that I got, that you and I got for invite to the party, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bump you up 10%. That's kind of common on all of our Enough About You VODs.
Yeah. Well, I messed with my audio just recently. Okay. I think that's the big problem.
So anyway, we go to these conventions. We're trying to get into the science of streaming, and what we're trying to do with this show, number one, entertain you, make you laugh, crack wise, do whatever. It's our chance to hang out. Number two, we've got some expertise and we got some hours. I don't know. Yeah. Expertise, it's thing. We got some hours in streaming.
I definitely think we have expertise. I think we're able to say that we have expertise at this point. 5 years of doing it, 10 years total between us.
Yeah, we've done some stuff. and we broke into some things in places that we shouldn't have.
Kicked down some doors that we shouldn't have been kicking down. Yeah, for sure.
Kicked in some doors, and we've done some stuff. So so this is why it's what we're trying to bring to here. It's pretty interesting. And I was here's the statistic that I want to see, that there's no way to measure it. Okay. This came up in my chat yesterday or two days ago. It's Allie. I think I was talking with Allie Jane. She said, I said, I want to know the percentage of Twitch partners in chat
for this stream.
What channels have the highest percentage of Twitch partners in chat?
Oh, that's a fun idea. That's a very cool idea.
Especially an unpartnered channel.
Oh yeah,
that has more of a higher percentage than ours of Twitch partners in chat hanging out, because we get our fair amount of Twitch partners coming by to say hi.
It's the streamer's stream, is what
it's a streamer's stream.
The idea behind this anyway. It's like people who like us, probably they're involved in Twitch heavily in the first place, right? That's why we know Hap. That's why we know Nihilus. That's why we know these streamers.
He comes by all the time. Trick comes by. Mojo. Like there's some regular. Regular people who are partners that come by.
Yeah.
That come by as regulars in this
channel. It's not like we get a lot of viewership on this platform or with this thing. We need to work on it a lot more. But it's nice to have.
But it's a higher. What I'm saying is it's a higher percentage of partners than one would think.
I think so.
It's
probably
cool.
Got to be one of the best things about this.
One of our claim to fame, right?
Yeah,
Claims to fame.
I think so.
Probably in our argument of, hey, this channel should be partnered. It's run by two partners. It's got higher percentage of partner gathering than any other channel.
We just haven't put in the effort in to get partnered. I just need to find the right email to send, basically, and we'll be good to go. I just haven't done it yet.
Probably so. But there you go.
Is the audio a little bit better now? Let me know if I'm still too quiet.
Yeah.
I think Blake is a little bit still out still, actually.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so...
All right, so here's Badger's... let's do top 5 tips.
Cool. Okay, yeah. My number one. All right, my number one top tip for getting good at streaming. Okay, you want to make $1 billion doing streaming. This is the number one thing that I suggest you do. Find a mentor is my number one. So find someone that you like, that you enjoy their stream, you enjoy their content. Find that person that really resonates with you and that you have fun watching, and then mimic that person. Engage with that person if you can, but find someone who guides you through the path. Because we want to do reverse planning, okay? So what do you look like at the end of the day, all right? And how do you find that? You need to find a role model. You need to find a mentor. I want to look like Dizzy Disaster at the end of the day. And you can start working toward that goal by taking steps to do so. Finding that mentor is so important to find out how to do things. And then once you kind of get to the point where you can do stuff by yourself and you're working with OBS and things like that, all the things, right? Then you can start kind of changing who you are around how you want to make it different. That's my big one. I think you have this one too, actually.
So as an example, so you mentioned Dizzy specifically as an example. What did you find about Dizzy that he does right that you want to be like?
His Discord. I think that he's very active on Discord, constantly. And like, hey, come into Discord tonight. I have stuff that I want to do.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, he does all kinds of stuff. He'll go watch other streams with a lot of people in his Discord. He'll do all kinds of different things. And then there's the visual and audio quality there, right? I mean, just getting the inspiration as a starting off streamer to do that the quality they had, or being able to ask him a question, simple things sometimes like, what bitrate do I use, Diz? And Diz will be like, oh, you use these bitrates for these situations, stuff like that.
Oh, that's good.
So there's so many things that I've been inspired by Dizzy. I think it's just such a gambit of things. Because I met Dizzy year one streaming, I want to say. The way I met him, in fact, was someone came into my channel, like, are you trying to be like Dizzy? And I was like, who's Dizzy?
Who's Dizzy?
And then I kind of latched on to Dizzy after that.
Is it because he has a hat and you have a hat?
Yeah, exactly. It's because I was wearing a hat at the time, and he was wearing a hat. Yeah, it's as simple as that.
Diz has a very specific hat.
He's not like my hats at all. He has just the plushies for Don't Starve. The Chester plushies.
Chester. Yeah, that's right. Gecko type of Chester.
Oh, he's got Gecko Swarm. No, that's separate. Gecko Swarm is his stream team and kind of the community name. But Chester's our Don't Starve thing. It's okay, you don't know Dizzy very well. Sorry, I forgive you.
I mean, I rate him when he's on and all that business.
Are you trying to be Abraham Lincoln? He wears a hat, Jaunty says.
Yeah. Are you? That's right.
Are you going to do your number one now? We can go back and forth.
Mine's get a schedule and keep it. And while Badger is bristles at that one.
I am. How'd you know? How could you tell I was bristling? Could you feel it? Could you feel me bristling?
Because you bristled just now. Because I felt your bristle.
If it's not wrong, I'm just nervous
wrong.
about telling someone. Oh, sorry. You do your thing before I even.
Well, and the reason why he bristles is because the keeping the schedule. One, he set a very ambitious schedule for himself early on, which was I'm going to do 1 hour every day for a year of streaming. I'm going to be live every day for 1 year. Was his first one. I'm just going to do it. I want to be serious about it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to set my thing.
That was my intention, to be serious about it.
And it worked very, very, very well.
Poorly
for the first couple years because you had a job, and then you would do your job, come home, stream.
Yep.
Because of positioning.
Yep.
And then you would sleep, get up and go to work and job. And that in your first time you did that, you said, man, that year flew by.
Oh yeah, it was a fast year for sure. I was a zombie for like the rest of the year.
He was a zombie. Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll think about it. Flew by. But you made some really good progress. You grabbed.
I learned a lot of things.
You learned a lot of things. You made a lot of things. It was there's not really a substitute for busting your ass. It is
I think I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about using the equipment. I learned a lot about green screens. There's things I wouldn't know about if I hadn't put that dedication in. I don't know if that a schedule per se helped me with that. Just putting time in and doing it would be fine. So I think the main reason to do schedule in your mind is consistency.
Consistency.
Being consistent is like the most important thing. A lot of people say consistency is the biggest thing.
Yeah, two things. One, not just for your viewers, for you. If you're more likely to do something if you make a habit out of it, right? And you say, okay, this is the time of day that I'm going to do the thing. And a while back, I thought I wanted to do this thing, so I'm going to set aside time and I'm going to do the thing, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's exercise or whether it's work or whether it's read a book or whatever it is, or whether it's streaming, you set aside. That's for you. But then here's the other secret is humans are creatures of habit. If you don't believe that, look at how people get into subway, what they do on the subway. They probably sit in the same exact seat. They go to the same car. You track a person, they go to the same Starbucks every day for work, or they adjust their, I don't know, they adjust their chair the same way. They have habits that they keep, and one of those habits is probably their entertainment about things that they watch. They like Badger, or they like, American Idol, or they like Survivor, like Game of Thrones. They have a habit of every Friday night I'm gonna do the thing, right?
Yeah.
So ride that wave of humans doing a habit. They do like variety on occasion, but most of their stuff is governed by habits and a schedule, and they work from X time, and they found Badger Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then now suddenly Thursday they're going, this guy go.
That's
I
the
really
opposite
like
of my schedule, by the way.
Yeah,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is
that's the early on, right?
Oh yeah, maybe so. I don't know when I took off. I didn't.
But here's the thing: is like by
off.
doing that leads into my number two, and then I'll pass back to you here. But what number two, Badger's first year, he was a student of his craft. Like he learned green screens, he learned OBS.
Right. Still am.
He learned
the microphone. Oh man, I love the microphone. Fight with the microphone all the time. I'm gonna still fight with stuff every single day.
Every day. Every day. You want to be a streamer?
You're gonna have to
try not to cry. Try a lot.
Try a lot. Yeah. The thing about getting into streaming is that you're video producer, you're audio engineer, you're the setup guy, you're the script guy. You have every single role that would be on a live production, where normally paid professionals who have years of experience would be setting up a live production. You're setting up from home now. How do I get my camera to look right? You better Google it, sucker. Like,
you better do it. Right.
The people who have degrees would normally be doing this. Messing with the DSLR camera, I remember, was just the biggest pain in my butt. This guy over here still barely knows how to use his DSLR camera. I'll turn it on.
It's not mine.
Wait, how do I get the auto shot to stop taking 3 pictures? How do I focus? Right. What's the main? And I mean,
you know
I
know
get
how
a degree.
To use this guy.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's quite simple. You can get a degree in just a singular aspect of one of the things in streaming. Yeah, you can get it like not OBS, but definitely photography, a full degree, right? Like how to set up the lights correctly, what the position of the character in frame, what different lightings to use in different situations, etc., and things like that. So
I know now.
There's just so much stuff to learn. It's insane. You want to switch to DSLR or camcorder, but dear God, I don't want to mess with this, so I don't. That's the thing, right? And I think that's the hurdle that this is why being a student at your craft is so important. I agree with Blake a lot on this.
Got to make that leap. Got to make that leap. And
you got to do
now, even if you now here's the other thing. The other side of that same coin is if you're a YouTuber and if you're making highlights and if you're trying to grow your VOD presence, there is editing to do. And for a long time, Badger makes his own emotes a lot of times.
Yep.
And also, Badger did a lot of it editing. But what he did was he says, all right, one of those I still want to do. I still want to make my emotes. You know what I don't want to do is editing. So I'm going to pay somebody to do that. I still know what's got to be done, but I know enough to know that that's balls, and I'm willing to pay for someone else to do it.
Right. So I think this is my number 3. Delegate tasks that you aren't suited for is my number 3 tip. Skip to number 2, but not like. So this is a great example for me. Great example, Blake. I'm not good at YouTube editing. I suck at it. I don't really like it very much. I can do it if necessary, but it's I hate the tasks. So instead of trying to learn to do it, trying to force myself to do something I don't like, instead I find someone else that I can bring in, put on the payroll and get them to help me with it. So, and I think that fits in for a lot of different things. Like, how do I get really good video quality? Maybe think about finding a professional and talking to them. Like this comes back to finding a mentor. A lot of times mentors will help you out. Is talk to somebody about what's going on. Engage with a person and have them help you things and answer questions. Emotes are the easiest though. You probably aren't an emote artist. If you are, you probably made your own emotes already. If you haven't made your own emotes and you have emote slots, go ahead and pay somebody to do it. $10, $15 for an email, one shot deal. They'll probably support an artist. You get cool things for your stream, make a connection with people. Yeah.
That's exactly right. So in my example, I have an emote artist, and he's really good. And here's what I did with it. I set out about, I think I had $80, and I said, all right, I'm gonna go out on Fiverr. And I'm going to commission 3 emotes from 3 different artists, and I'm going to choose the one I like the best.
Yeah.
One was shitty, one was good, and one was great. And I said, okay, and $80 pissed away, but I did get one emote that was good.
You found an artist.
More importantly, I found a guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is I'm coming up on 2 years now for my emotes. He's still my guy for 2 years. 2 years. He still does Fiverr, and we're now. I'll say, hey, it's me again. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying aside for COVID. And we exchange non-business interaction over Fiverr about, hey, how's your family doing? You staying? What kind of work are you doing?
So this is what you really want. I like
2 jobs.
That is amazing.
Boom. And we're sending instant messages. He says, yeah, I'm working on your stuff. I'm going to be away from home for a little while. I'm going to my hometown. I'm going to come back. Easy to do thing. I think he's in Indonesia or something. And we're just bros. Oh. Online bros, but bros.
Sure.
And he's like, hey,
it's a two-way
thank you very much
or it's a relationship.
Yeah, we have a relationship. Right. Yeah, he says, thanks for coming back. Hope you're doing well. Hope your Twitch business is going well. Hope you're staying safe with COVID thing. How's your working from home? And we do the thing, right? It's really good.
JD Plays asks, good price for emotes.
$80.
So 5 to 15. I mean, even more, really. I don't think there is the artist really depends. Like who are you going to find? What's in your budget? I don't think there is a bad price to pay. You usually get what you pay for, generally speaking. So if you're going to go for a lower, like $5 in emotes, you're going to find a novice who's not done much, right? They're learning their craft, they're getting portfolio together, and they're willing to take a low price just to get the experience, basically.
So my guys, so as an example, so Badger's right. My guy, as an example, he's good. I think this is what he does for, he does a bunch of volume, because I see a bunch of other emotes that he's done as his portfolio. I pay $15 for the one emote.
See, that's fair
plus
to me.
$2 some sort of Fiverr fee. Plus, I give him a tip of $5.
Okay.
Afterwards, that is $22 for an emote.
That's not bad.
I don't know.
That's fine.
And I tip him and I give him a good rating. And he's like, "Thank you very much. You're awesome." And I say, "Thank you very much. This is a badass emote." And that's a great exchange.
Mine would be, "Thank you very much. I didn't want to have to do this myself."
I mean, but $22, and I have some kind of really cool emotes. I got my most recent one.
So Alex says I had to learn not to be afraid to say I don't like this or we need to do some changes. That is. You have to learn that for sure, and you'll learn that the more you interact with them. And they want you to be happy too. Remember, it's a relationship, right? Relationships are always two-way, so they want you to be satisfied. I mean,
right.
Even if it's they don't want to necessarily work on something they're not getting paid for. They are getting paid for. It's tough to ask for revisions,
Yeah, but you gotta do it.
I don't like any of my emotes at all.
Yours are great.
I just am never satisfied with them. I don't want to go on. I just never feel satisfied. No. Okay, this is a me thing because I just never feel satisfied. Full stop. Like I just we should fix this, or we need to do that, or this needs to improve, or we need to go this direction. Right. Yeah, that's a me thing. I know tons of people like the emotes. Like they're super stoked for the emotes. Oh, I love TV Dummy, TV PP, the wood emotes. People say they love.
How long have you had Dummy?
Not long.
Really?
This year.
A year?
Yeah, this year. This year. Hey, got it. Hey, Vince.
By the way, Dummy, I just now got the joke.
TVGB Dummy?
I'm Dummy. I'm a Dummy.
You're a Dummy, yeah.
I just now got the joke. I thought it was a Terraria thing. Like, I'm just going to take a piece of Terraria and put it in there. But I did not get because I think you did something like 2 shows ago. You did something. You go, "Oh, I'm a dummy." And then in chat, there was dummy.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of dummies. And I went, "Oh."
I guess I actually kind of started because Jazzy Wazzy calls people idiot, so I started calling people dummies. Yeah. Well,
Dummy's a little
softer.
A little softer, yeah.
You dummy.
But look, dummy, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people like emails. I mean, it's so this is what we were talking about here. Find delegate tasks that you're unsuited for, that you feel you aren't suited for.
Yeah.
Finding those emote artists, finding different layouts and stuff like that. It's
Emote's a great one.
If you earn money from Twitch, I suggest you invest it back into Twitch, because if you do so, you can increase your quality. And at the same time, these things those things we listed, like emotes and things like that, they don't really matter per se for being successful. There's a lot of Twitch streamers out there who don't worry about it at all. They don't worry about their emotes. They don't worry about their panels. They don't worry about how. They bank.
And
yeah, they're doing fine. They have really high uptimes, or they're doing League of Legends, and they're pro players and things like that. So it's not necessarily like, it depends on how you feel if you want to even focus on these things in the first place.
Right, but my first 6 months, first 3 months, I had a guy come over. His name was Kenichi. He's still my moderator. He's been with me for 5 years, and he'll dip in from every once in a while. He loved playing Terraria, and he kept throwing these emotes in my chat. And I said, "I don't even recognize these. What are these emotes for?" And he says, "Oh, they're from Soda Poppin'." And I went, "Oh, okay."
Was it Soda Poppin'? I thought it was Baharu.
No, it was Soda Poppin'. And I said, "Oh, so you're a fan of Soda Poppin'?" He goes, "No, I just like his emotes.
I just like his emotes.
I pay $5. I pay $5 a month because I like his emotes."
So that's the other side of things, where like if you have extremely high quality.
He says, "No." He says, "I haven't watched them in 6 months."
Yeah. See, but subscribing still, right? $30.
But I like his emotes.
You get 50 emotes because of huge. Yeah, I think this is the opposite spectrum, where if you have something really high quality, you're doing really well with it, and you invest in it, it does have a payoff. I think you
can just make money just by making a one-time picture.
A nice picture,
Hey, awesome.
I said Fence brings, so we could talk about emotes for a long time, because there's a lot to talk about there.
There's a lot of it. Yeah.
The usefulness in your stream, and then the usefulness globally are very separate. Yeah. So like when you're making your emotes, maybe consider, would another stream use this? Would this be globally applicable? Or is it an in-stream meme for me that's only going to function in my stream? What does it look like? Is it very repetitive? Is it another lull emote of the millions and billions of freaking lull emotes that everybody has? So is it filling a niche that doesn't exist? Like how is it going to be used with different ways? So I think combinations are pretty fun for emotes as well.
Right, but if you have a better kappa, it might be appropriate. The Ox 33 salute.
That's a very different one.
Absolutely a great. There is no global one, but it is a global thing that you want to have. It's you
07.
Use the high, the
hey guys,
Ray high, Ahoyo high, yeah, the Ahoyo with the wrench and the thing and the high.
That's Vohoyo.
I
use Vohoyo.
You use
I
that
use
one.
Vohoyo, Concha, hey guys, and then I'll use other high emotes, other hey emotes.
Right. all I used for years was OX33 Salute. That's what I used.
Yeah.
Is my hello.
Well, it was like my go-to. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. Because that's what you'll type in when you pop into mine every once in a while, right? You go, you use the Hoyo thing.
There's actually, yeah. Okay, so your number 3 is actually find a mentor. Do you have any commentary on why mentor for you?
Oh, same stuff. Number 1, put that pride away. They're built into number 3 is put that pride away. Find someone who's successful and do what a successful person does. You want to be successful? Do what successful people do. Whether it's adopt a habit, or I mean, your first one, find a mentor and mimic them, right? Whatever that mimic is for you. But part of that is, well, I want to do it my way. I want to do it how, I want to do it this way.
My way or the highway.
If you're doing it your way for
my way's
2
the
years,
right way, your way's the wrong way,
and you're not making any progress, hey man, and there's someone up there who's got 30 times your viewer count, and I'm chopping a little bit.
I don't know why.
About 30 times your viewer count and is crushing it. Hey man, maybe you ought to adopt some successful habits.
Maybe take some advice. Maybe be willing to do.
Take some advice.
I mean, pride and envy and jealousy are all kind of very difficult emotions to deal with and process.
Right.
Like when you feel envious of someone, you can kind of naturally try to lean away from what they do and who they are. That's just it's a negative emotion. Well, not a negative. It's an emotion that's difficult to cope with. But if you can cope with it, then you can get better through it. There's a reason it's there. Yeah, that envy, that feeling.
Right. There's a reason. It's supposed to drive you to action.
Right. So don't be afraid to look at Pedguin for me, right? Playing Terraria a ton and be like, what does Pedguin do? Oh, this is a great example for me making thumbnails. Every time I make a thumbnail, I go to YouTube, I type in Terraria, I'm like, what are the most popular thumbnails? Okay, this is what it needs to look like, right? I mean, you can't. There's so many people who do better than you. Like they do better work on different things than you do. Surely, 100%, right? There's always going to be people who are better. It's okay to look at for them. It's okay to look to them and get better at stuff.
Yeah, I look at thumbnails too. Thumbnails a great one. I look at thumbnails too, and I look at successful ones. And I mean, JD's got some good ones, and the one Neil's has some good ones. He's got good lettering and a good. What he does is, for me, a thumbnail. The title of the video is less important than what's on the thumbnail, because he'll do the splash graphic of thing right on the thumbnail. Tells you more about the video than the thing.
JD hates thumbnails. Okay, so Chad is talking a little bit about, remember the second part of find a mentor is once you're established and once you have the tools in hand for you, and once you know what this is a stream I enjoy, let me mimic that stream. And then once you get going on your own pace, then you've taken your own creative thing, and then you try to do something different. So you have this strong body, and then you start trying new stuff and trying to branch out and trying to find what works for you, right? So you're increasing your audio quality, you're increasing your video quality, you're pushing the limits to your technology allows you. You're trying to get the most, I hate this term too, like quality stream, good stream, and what does that look like? And it's very good to look at successful people's stream and see what's working there and what people expect on Twitch or YouTube or whatever platform you're looking at. Like going to Twitter and see the most prolific people on Twitter and then mimicking them would be successful. Yeah, like it's proven. In fact, people literally copy and post all the time, and they're very successful posts. And then once you're able to mimic them, once you're able to do the same things, then you can branch off. I do agree that you have to put your own creative deal in, which brings me to my next, my number 2 actually, which is find what works for your creative outlet. What's different about you? What are you bringing to the table? How can you use who you are in a creative way? So one of my examples for this is Argus, another speedrunner. He does Super Mario Brothers speedruns and stuff like that, all kinds of different speedruns actually. Ninja Gaiden he's doing right now. But he also does cooking. He likes to cook. So he has a camera, he'll switch to a different scene in his kitchen, and then he'll speedrun making a sandwich. So you see, he liked food already. He likes speedrunning already, and then slowly very naturally, this creative outlet came out where there's a chat reward to speedrun a sandwich or something like that, right? So that's how you get established, and then you find direction for your creative outlet. So I like writing a lot. Writing is really fun for me, and I'm constantly trying to find ways to get writing into my creative outlet because video. I mean, there's not a lot. Yeah, I love writing. I've writing since I was a kid. So that's why I like Twitter so much. That's why I'm pretty active on Twitter. That's why I tend to write stuff out on Twitter, and that's why I like Patreon so much as well. So I found something that I already enjoyed and try to turn it into content already. So rather than the opposite of this would be, well, I'm not very good at Twitch, or I want to get into the artist category on Twitch, and you have that concept, right? So you need to learn to draw. So you're really fighting against the grain there. Yeah, you've never drawn before. You've never had any drawing classes, and you're suddenly trying to learn to draw. You're going to have a hard time right there. You're going to get a lot of resistance for that. But maybe if you were already into martial arts, what you could do is you could have, a martial arts day talking about martial arts and stuff, and bringing other people who like martial arts and being involved in a martial arts community. So a lot easier for your creative outlet for you to go with what you're already enjoying.
Exactly. Right.
Don't try to reinvent yourself necessarily.
Yeah. So my two examples are one I'm doing now and one I want to do. I was already doing Factorio. I know a lot about it. I wanted to do new player night. I wanted to do something for new players, and I got the idea from the panel we were on, and I also wanted to do Reddit. I wanted to do more Reddit, and I guess I also wanted to do more YouTube. All of those things. I said, how do I take my Factorio stuff?
Yeah.
And to do more of Reddit and more of YouTube. I want to do the same thing. So every Friday night now we do it's like new player night, and we put aside everything else we were going to do, and chat asks a question. We had a bunch of nude player night. We had a bunch of great questions come in. They said, hey, they have a specific question, and I said, cool. I said, I'm record the developer notes. We review the editor notes, and I bottle that up for YouTube, put that out there. And then I do Reddit, and I do new player questions, and that spurs on while chat's hanging out and listening to me answer the question. Chat answers them, and that goes on to the video. And then chat will list off questions they have, and I'll go, great, let's hit that right afterwards. We put that aside, and then we'll go do a build. I have a little creative build, and I'll demo it. It takes me like 2 or 3 minutes to set up, and then I'll demo the thing, and they go, thanks, man, I was having trouble with that. And I'm like, okay, there you go.
Yep.
So throw that out there. And then I take all those Reddit questions and I bottle it up on YouTube. So I took my Factorio stuff and I branched out in my Factorio, say, knowledge/skills, easy chat. And then I now have more videos that I'm releasing on YouTube, and now I actually link stuff, and I'm a participant on Reddit, and I take Reddit and I bring it. I also try and bring Reddit to me.
So you're already looking at Reddit. How do I incorporate it into my stream? And then you found a way, right? That's cool. That's exactly
the next thing I want to do. Here's what I would love to do. So I saw that when the NFL happens, right? Thursday night football, right? So you guys may not know that Monday night football turned into Thursday night football, and Thursday night football was purchased by Amazon. Huh. So it used to be owned by.
Interesting.
It was owned by ABC for a long time. Then it was owned by NBC, and then CBS had it for a little while. But Monday night football, the broadcast package, is now no longer on broadcast TV. It's now bought by Amazon. So Amazon streams Monday Night Football.
Curious.
Okay. Live feed. So every Thursday night you can go to Amazon and you have to buy either the NFL package or your cable network can do it.
Thursday night on Monday.
It used to be Monday Night Football.
But now it's Thursday Night Football.
It's now Thursday Night Football, okay. But it's now a non-Sunday game. Is really what it is. It's a package for prime time. So it's broadcast, I think, around 7 p.m. Central, something like that.
Dang, it really
8 p.m. Central. It is prime time football, and in the NFL showcases their games of hopefully the best teams. And for the Sun. I mean, everybody finds a game on Sunday. So college football is Sunday. College football is Saturday, NFL is Sunday. That's where most of you'll find all the games, but they'll do showcases midweek to try and bring non-fans into being fans.
Interesting.
Right? That's what they do. That was the
Jason.
So that's the goal of what they were trying to do with Monday Night Football, right?
Interesting. I don't know.
Amazon bought it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why it's on Twitch.
What else happens on Amazon? Twitch, right?
Twitch is owned by Amazon.
I went in to go reading all of that. So now they have permissioned copyrights for about 12 to 15 big streamers. Our friend of the show, Angry Joe, is one of them because he's an NFL fan.
I don't know. Yeah, sure.
Friend of the show.
Sure.
Go out and look at the Twitter pictures.
I mean, I did take a picture with him.
Right. Yeah, friend of the show. Our good friend. Angry Joe is one of them. So Angry Joe has
I've talked to more.
Yes. Angry Joe has permission to stream the NFL behind him and hang out
and have a cheeky chuckle.
Awesome. And all he has to do is turn on and then it's a watch party with NFL, right? But you can't just do that. You have to have specific permission from Amazon for copyright to be able to replicate the broadcast, right? Same stuff applies to UFC, all these other sporting events. Now, I hit up the watch party guy. I hit up the partner guy. I hit up everybody's ear that anyone's ear.
See, this is what the reason this was so easy for Blake to do is because he was already passionate about this subject.
Right. And
he didn't suddenly get a passion for this subject.
If Amazon ever strikes a deal with the UFC or with Bellator or with Strikeforce or K1 or Eddie Bravo Invitational or any of these, anything with martial arts, jiu-jitsu, anything like that, let me broadcast it. Let me commentate. Let me do the Angry Joe, what Angry Joe can do for the NFL. Let me do it for that.
Let me
at it. I would love to be the Twitch partner representative for martial arts. If there's there, and they say, okay, cool, right, all right, cool.
Sure, like we're taking over the world anyway. Might as well,
May as well.
If
Amazon can buy something that's multi-billion dollars like football, like NFL, they can certainly work a giant broadcast deal for the UFC. For maybe one of the competitors for the UFC that they need to Bellator has some good stuff. They have good practices. I would love to be able to simulcast a martial arts thing. I could sit there. We would have a great party. That would be my ultimate watch party.
I'm glad you're excited about this.
Bam. Yeah, you probably have no interest in this at all. I would love to bring martial artists to a bunch of nerd factorians who have never seen martial arts before.
I think it would be
make it interesting
to hear you talk about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu more and just be
like a companion to a fight, like a fight companion. Exactly.
A fight companion. Okay. So my number 4 tip is learn the tools that you need. So we talked about delegating tasks that you're not suited for. So you don't necessarily have to learn Photoshop, but you're gonna have to learn to use OBS. Okay, if you're gonna be streaming, if you're gonna be recording, you need to know the software that you're gonna be used to record. Okay, you're probably not gonna get away with not being capable with your audio. You're gonna need to be able to mess with your audio on the fly. You need to learn how to read the OBS audio bars. That's a big one. That's a super big one. You need to learn to use direct monitor. I feel like you need to. You need to learn how to use the settings in your camera to make it look reasonable. And then even I've listed a bunch of things that aren't Twitch, but then there's also Twitch itself. Like, how do I use my moderation tools? Right. How do I use my title? And there's even meta inside of that. That's what is an attractive title. So you have to learn these things pretty well. I don't think you're going to be able to get away with outsourcing that type of stuff. So you're gonna have to sit there, and it's, I guess I just always say this, you're gonna have to go to YouTube, and you're gonna have to work with searching YouTube, like, how do I make a good title, and then sitting through a video, and then how do I work with OBS and sitting through a video, basically.
Yep. Yeah. And there's people out there that will have done this before and are interested in your eyeballs on their video that will tell you exactly how to do it. And if you have a question, throw them a YouTube comment. Hey, I have this thing. Here's my settings. Can you help me? A huge majority of the time, the person, unless it's a zillion, this is a huge YouTuber who's got so much to do and all that, and just has hundreds of thousands of comments that will never get answered. Right.
Usually they're not that big.
If it's a genuine question, about the content and not how many like.
I answer questions all the time.
How many puppies have you kicked today? Something dumb like that. It's a genuine question about, hey, here's my camera. Did you ever have any problems? They will huge majority of the time they will answer you.
They get notifications on their phone. I get notifications on my phone for YouTube comments.
I answer every Factorio question that comes at me through YouTube.
I do. I pretty much reply to every single comment. Or at least interact with every single comment.
Number one, thanks for watching. That means a lot.
It's usually, Great question. Actually, you know what? That response, thanks for watching, is what I say to every negative comment. It's like, man, your stream sucked. They're like, thanks for watching.
Got him. Got it. Thanks for watching.
Mixers are a weird thing, Ali. That takes a lot of learning. Like the hardware stuff like that. Tino says, or use the very simple to use Stream Elements OBS. I haven't used Stream Elements OBS. Is it different than OBS? You're using Streamlabs?
Streamlabs OBS.
You're using Streamlabs. So Stream Elements is different than Streamlabs. So the Stream Elements OBS now, Streamlabs OBS, and then there's just OBS. I'm not really sure the differences in those. See, that's exactly what I mean when you're going to have to learn, Streamlabs Elements. So I don't think there is too much of a difference between Streamlabs.
Okay, I'll break it down for you very easy. Yeah. Streamlabs is essentially OBS. The Streamlabs OBS is essentially OBS. That is slower.
Studio is slower.
No.
Streamlabs is slower now? Okay.
Streamlabs is slower to click on stuff and a little bit more user-friendly.
Well,
but here's the thing. I switched because it worked with GTA.
Right. Yeah, there's CPU is a thing for you, right? No, well, there's even more than that, JD, because there's Studio. OBS Studio is which we're running right now is OBS Studio.
Right.
And then there's just OBS. And then there's the other variations.
Like OBS Project, right?
Yeah, there's actually even more, I think, than that. Like, because I think OBS is shareware or freeware. Something. It's like
it's open source.
Well, but I don't think that open source means that you can use it as. It's weird. Like the law on it is funky because other companies can take the source info and then do stuff with it, and it's fine.
And sell it, right?
So I don't know. I don't know if they can sell it.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. So there's lots of different versions of OBS out there. What you shouldn't be doing in this day and age is paying for recording software. You should never pay for any recording software ever. OBS does the job. Easy peasy, obsstudio.com. Just type in OBS into Google or Ask Jeeves, whatever you prefer. Right. And then you can get that downloaded for free. Do not pay for a software. There's no reason to do so. Very, very powerful softwares these are, the open broadcast softwares.
Yeah, pay for something like a bot. Because you want to write a bot?
Yeah, you don't do them again.
You don't want to write a bot. So I was doing that. I was doing that the Tuesday night nuke fest where they nuked my base.
Right. So for your donation incentive is that something happens to you in game and it's dropping bombs on you.
It's super traumatic. And so I was asked, and so here's my other one: is collaborate/network was my other tip. And I was collaborating with one of the other Factorian streamers who did who had this interaction going. And he was saying, here's the upside, here's the downside, here's all the stuff we got going on. And he said, and I said, well, how did you get this done? And he goes, oh, I just wrote my own bot. I went, well,
Factory community, bro. It just be like that.
I'm not gonna write my own bot. So that's where my limitation is. So he just wrote his own damn bot, and I'm going, I ain't gonna write a bot.
Well, tell me more about collaboration. Working with others.
So collaboration is kind of some simple things that I can think of from that is don't be afraid to ask questions. Most people are willing to help. Like Badger, if you ask Badger a question on his Terraria videos, like, hey,
I'll berate you, and then I'll probably answer your question.
He'd probably answer your question. If you have an honest question.
Well, yeah, no, if you have an honest question, I'll hit you 100%. Well, 100%, it depends. Right. It depends. It's like, is this expert mode? Oh, if it's in the title, you might get berated a little bit.
At 1 minute and 38 seconds, I saw you pick something up. Was that because I saw you pick up an object?
What is the vertebrae for?
Doing here?
Sure, 100%. Yeah, that's it's so hard to know that type of information that I have to say. Right. Yeah, exactly. You're right.
Right. So some of the dumber, obvious ones, right? But something that is just a straight up honest question, you can do the thing.
That's interesting.
Let's see. So collaborating and networking. So I streamed for about 4 months before I ever even took notice of other streamers in the Terraria space.
I have a very similar experience.
I never raided.
Well, the raids didn't exist. Host didn't exist when you started.
Host did. I
don't think it. Well, I started
right when I started. Right when you started. Early on when I started. But even if it did, I didn't even know it was there. I didn't use it. I didn't use it until.
Or what?
So remember,
I started
in July. I started in July. Okay. I didn't host my first person until like November.
I mean, I think that's very normal, Blake. Really. So, and this is why it's one of our tips. Is because it's kind of hard to do this. Like, what does it look like? Like, so rating and hosting, great example of what collaboration can be, you know? Right. So what is something that a Twitch streamer does a lot of the time, or streamers do a lot of the time, is they take the audience that they've built up during a day of streaming, and they say, hey guys, let's go over to some other place, and we'll have a good time, continue the party, basically. So you take all your people, and you go to another place, and usually you have like a call, a raid call is what it's called, and there's it's like a line of text that everyone posts all at the same time in another person's chat. And the intention is to mix communities together, to kind of, you know, hey, I'm supporting you. Whenever you give someone support, it's okay to expect support back. It's okay to expect. Yeah. I mean, it's because
that was your point on your panel, on your charity panel.
It's it is, and I talk about that a lot on the charity panel. Stuff. Is that if you're working with an organization and they don't work back with you, stop working with them.
Hashtag truth.
And that's painful. But if there's a girl that you keep hitting on and she's not responding to you, probably stop hitting on her.
Yeah. Same thing.
you're working up the wrong tree kind of deal. So yeah, it's okay to expect someone to collaborate back with you if you collab with them. Or if you raid someone, it is okay to expect some reciprocation. Now you may not get it. Hopefully that you're not walking around like freaking. You have a list, like I rated so and so on this day, etc., etc. Obviously, supporting the people that you want to support just because is the best feeling. I really like this person, I want to support them. But it's as a business model, being led entirely by your emotions doesn't quite work out.
Right.
Like you have to.
So Badger was saying this exact same thing in the context of charity streams. Like you should be getting something out of your charity streams. As yucky as that sounds, because charity should be fairly pure, but you should have a good working symbiotic relationships. And there were 3 charities represented up on that panel, and all 3 of them were going, yes, we want to give something back to the streamer that helped.
Well, it's because they understand, right? Like we want you to be incentivized to continue working with us.
Otherwise, no one will work with us. It'll be hard to get people to work with us.
Right.
Because we want to help. If it was like this one up on cancer guy, this one up on cancer guy was great. He was on the other end of on the other end of the panel, and this he has this foundation. He says we want to promote the heck out of. We want all of our streamers that work with us to be number 1. So we pimp them like crazy, and if we don't, then we're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So we try and drag all the viewers we can to this person, which is great, and then they help us with donations, and they help us with all the things. We want to be able to promote and help them gain viewership and gain audience. Otherwise, and he was saying it straight up, otherwise we're doing it wrong, right? And same thing. So you should be getting something out of your charity, as yucky as that sounds. And you did a great job on that panel, by the way.
I love that panel. It's one of my favorite panels.
You want to hear a dude speak on a panel? Drag this guy up on stage and put a microphone.
I'll do the entire panel myself. I don't mind.
He'll do the whole goddamn panel.
The best part about that panel actually is now when I talk to other charity organizations, I send them that panel. Like, hey, watch this panel because there's information that's pertinent to you. Because I get a lot of organizations. Like, actually, after the panel, we had a bunch of people come up to us like, hey, I work for a charity organization. How do you suggest I get into doing this? How do I start using streaming for my charity organization? So this panel was super good for them.
Also, you had a line of people wanting to talk to you outside. They kicked us out. Yeah, and there's a line of people waiting to talk to you outside.
That's part of the thing. Is right. Did you know that Allie was there at the panel? Allie was there at the panel.
Yeah, I'll be damned. It was great. Just see Allie Jane.
Yep. So it's the relationship should be two-way street. Sorry, we stepped on your collaboration. So yeah, rating is a great way to collaborate.
But that's it. It's the point is your collaboration should be mutually beneficial, and you should not start out you should not do this in a vacuum.
It's easy to do in a vacuum, but you really don't want to. Actually, this one really goes into your fifth one, but I want to list some examples of collaboration. I actually think being active in someone else's chat is a form of collaboration.
It is.
Okay, so being active in their chat, talking to them actively, form of collaboration. I think even a step beyond that, I see really successful streamers do this, and this might knock your socks off a little bit, is talk to other people in the chat. Communicate with other individuals inside the chat, not just a streamer. Now, here's the reason I think that's so prolific, is because what I found is that when I interact with another member of chat, other members of chat are much more likely to interact with me. And then that allows me to interact with other members of chat, and then that helps the streamer, I mean, that makes having think about having a celebrity come onto your stream. How if you could have Hack come on. Good.
Exactly. Neelis was streaming. I hosted him. I went to say hi, and Hafalas and I was there, and Hafalas and I had a total conversation that we could have had on Discord.
Right, and you had it there
in the chat.
And then people in chat get to read it, right? You're helping out the streamer by having active chat. He sees you there, you're hanging out with him, right? There's a lot to be benefited from having a conversation in the person's chat, being active in their chat, being active, leaving them a YouTube comment, huh? Do you have your YouTubers that you watch as a YouTube content creator, you like them, your mentor, for example, leave a comment on their videos. Man, I really enjoyed this video at this number or this time. This funny thing happened. I liked it a lot. Lurking is a whole thing, right? So lurking on Twitch means that you are actively listening to the stream or maybe watching the stream, but you're not engaged in chat.
Right.
It's hard for me to say that lurking is collaboration unless you follow up with the information.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was watching your stream at this time, and you mentioned this thing, and you're following up on Discord later, and we talk about that thing. Well, you're not. Don't. So if you're just a viewer, don't worry about collaboration. All right. That's not. Don't. Don't. Oh, yeah. It's weird, right? Because you want to be. This is strange because you want to be prolific in a person's community if you enjoy their stream, yeah? And to be active in chat is a thing. And one of the rules, the golden rules on Twitch ever since I started is don't call out lurkers. I kind of feel like I'm calling out lurkers right now, so I apologize for that. I'm not really trying to call you guys out.
You have never respected that rule. Let's be honest.
I haven't. I really don't. I don't believe in that rule. I don't know why that's such a thing. Like people are like, don't you call me? I'm lurking, bro.
I'm lurking, bro.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I don't care. Personally, I don't care. I'm not necessarily offended by it. But you've never subscribed to that. I mean, your argument to that unwritten rule is completely sound and completely logical. Your job as a streamer is to get people interaction and get them, right? Your job is to do what Warwitch does and get them forever. Warwitch got me 4 years ago.
He did when he gifted you a sub, yeah.
He gifted me a sub, and that was 4 years ago.
I tell you what, we gotta go back a second because he did not gift your ass a sub. What he did was he gave you a card, right? A Visa card. This is before
Subway sandwich card.
This is before sub gifting was a thing. Which is like, you know what would be a really good idea if I could gift out subs?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Subway and I'm going to buy a Visa card, $5 Visa card, and I'm going to give out the codes to people. And you're going to use that to subscribe.
Right. That's it. So that is exactly what happened, is because Twitch, in their payment plan, they take PayPal, but they also took Visa gift card. They took all kinds of electronic cards, and the one on there that was fast food was Subway. And this is exactly like finding something you're passionate about anyway and leverage it.
Sure.
He has a Subway down the street from his house that he likes Subway sandwiches. He likes the veggie 6-inch sub, the veggie 6-inch. And so what he would do, he rolls down to that Subway, buys a fat stack of $5 cards. And if he doesn't give them away, guess what? Sandwiches.
He's going to eat that money. He's going to eat that food.
He's going to eat that food. He's going to eat that anyway, right? So then what he would do is he says, hey, and he had a Word document on how to do this. And he says, message me on, I think it was Discord or something, message me on Twitch or something. And he sends me, and I messaged him. I said, hey man, I think I just want a sub from your, want a subscription from your deal. And he says, here's the file. Open this file, follow these instructions. Here's your code. Enjoy. Right. And I went through.
This is before
like 3 steps or whatever.
Right. This is
before sub gifting. You couldn't gift a sub, right? Before Twitch took this over. It was a pain in the ass. And so then it says select Subway gift card, and there's this code. And I went, and then I messaged him back. I said, is this a Subway gift card? And he says, yeah, I got a Subway down the street. I enjoy veggie sandwiches anyway, and it's a method of payment that I want. I want everybody to subscribe to my channel and get my emotes and get involved. Funny, but hey, if it never comes through, hey, free sandwiches.
Yeah, that's whatever. It's a very strange way to. He had a passion for a Subway, and he's like, man, I have this idea.
Probably 3
subscription.
3 months later, after I got mine, sub gifting was a thing, and all of that went away. And it was less of a pain in the ass. Right. And it was a random giveaway. I just happened to be in the chat.
He hooked. How many months have you been subscribed now? Like 40?
I think it was 45 months now. It's 4 years. 45 months. Oh my God. He was my first sub ever on Twitch. The first time I parted with personal money to support a streamer was Warwitch TV.
Wow.
It was month number 2.
That's crazy.
Of his subscription, because he gave me month number 1. And every time I resub, I say 40x months from Subway sandwiches to now. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
40
months later. Empire of Warwitch, Empire Hype, man. He's badass. He's such a badass. And speaking of finding a mentor, you would do way worse to find someone. You could do way worse than to find Warwitch as a mentor.
I agree.
He's a bad
I think I definitely think.
He knows exactly
the thing about
what
Warwitch
he's
is that he has radio experience and hosting experience prior to Twitch.
Previous shoutcasting, esports,
he's
all
an actual professional who moved into
a long time
to Twitch. Right.
He's got it shite together.
That's why I say find a mentor in the first place, because you're competing against guys with the years of broadcasting experience. And is your intention to catch up to them just working hard? Guess what? Warwitch TV's working hard, all right? He's working harder than you.
Yeah, he's working harder.
You better start getting up earlier in the morning, because
he's doing bonus streams at 4 a.m.
Right. It's just,
He's
See, I don't
doing
even
bonus
think it's
feeds
necessarily
for him.
Warwick's personality that shines through. It's consistency of content, and then like a rhetoric that he's really good at doing. Like it's a bit of a weird thing because I don't think it's a personality stream as so much as like a
He could probably send me a note right now, and I could probably get in the car tomorrow and go see him if he asked me to.
Sure, I mean, like Warwick, yeah. Warwick has a brand. I think that's really what it is, rather than. I mean, I'm glad you like. I mean, your panties are wet, is what I hear you're saying. I don't know if that's personality so much, but yeah, sure. So there's lots of different ways to network. Just being active in chat, doing the right thing. There's tons of different ways to network. So you should be looking into networking, in my opinion, before you even start streaming. I would say.
Yeah, agree.
Finding a mentor, that's kind of networking in itself. You know, you're going to find someone to mimic, and then being involved in their community, and then after that, starting your own community and doing your own stream thing. I think that's a really great way to get into content creation.
Right. And my last one was be ready to dedicate your life to it.
So I feel like you should move around be a student of your craft and be ready to dedicate your life to it, because you should like move it down to 4 and 5, because I feel like be a student of your craft and dedicate your life to it, like really like smash in, and then also networking too. So a lot of the people who are here on Twitch, this is their life. All right, that's it. This is the thing that they do. Okay.
Yeah.
Like it is gaming, sure. You know, it is socialization, sure. But Twitch is the primary focus of their activity. Like, make no doubt that someone who has been on Twitch for 10 years, maybe now. The time that they've been on Twitch, they've been dedicating their entire life. I'm stealing Blake's here, but Blake's number 5 is be ready to dedicate your life to it, right? Like to learn all these things, to get all this information. It's not just what you learn right now. It's that you're going to have to keep learning in the future too. Like new OBS stuff is coming out, new bit rates. Well, remember when we went from 10-second delay to a 3-second delay? Massive. Insanely huge change. And what impact did that have on bitrate? And what's the difference? And when it was rating when it came out? And there's gonna be more examples of this going forward, where you're gonna really have to be immersed in your subject matter in order to be able to do it. You have to dedicate your life to do so.
That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and by the way, you're not. There's two different mentalities. There's kind of the famine mentality, and then there's the grow the pie mentality.
Yeah. So I think one only really works. I think the famine mentality is. So what Blake's talking about here is two different things. You know, if Pedguin is streaming, he streams a lot of Terraria, yeah, or he's a Terraria guy. If Pedguin is streaming, it's a bad thing for me because he's taking away the viewers that I would get. And there's some rationale there, yeah. People can't watch and be active in Ped stream at the same time as watching and being active in my stream.
Right.
But then there's the other mentality.
You and Pedguin do have overlap of viewers.
We do, right. So, I mean, it makes sense for me to position myself in such a way where I'm not stepping on Ped stream and he's not stepping on mine, yeah? For my normal times, his normal times. And we do that. We pay attention to each other. But then there's the other mentality, and I think both are valid. I mean, I like the pie mentality a lot more.
There's some validity to both schools of thought. There's
I think one can be way more toxic than the other. The famine one can be really bad for you and give you a lot of bad emotions. Not a lot of emotions that are difficult to cope with. I don't like saying bad emotions. Sorry. So the grow the pie one is, you know, I'm working alongside Pedguin instead of fighting him for the viewers. What's really happening is I'm growing the full pie. We're both together trying to make the pie bigger. Yeah. Rather than seeing myself as in competition with Ped, I'm actually in collaboration with Ped constantly, because he's making Terraria content, he's inspiring me, I'm making Terraria content, I'm inspiring him, and if we have this ecosystem going forward, we'll go up, right? We'll go up together rather than trying to smother each other. And it actually took me a long time to internalize.
Yeah, the Twitch world is a kitchen. Like you got plenty of room. Bake a good pie.
There is a lot of room, and Twitch has only been growing, right? Especially during the lockdown recently. In a lot of countries, 25% increase in average watch time, 25% increase in viewership. We're not sure about the spending numbers, but it's obvious that Twitch numbers are going up as we slowly suffocate sports. I would say.
True.
Slowly,
exactly true.
Slowly killing those guys.
So I get this. Let me break down a little bit of inside baseball for you.
Baseball, nice.
It's not baseball. I get a fair amount of this in relation to you. Okay. Of, hey, are you? Badger's numbers are through the roof. Your numbers haven't necessarily worked out. Right?
Okay.
Badger did AGDQ. are you happy for him? Are you jealous of the thing? Of the
oh, wow, I didn't know this.
And hey, man, he may stomp you out and all the other stuff, and all that. I get a little bit of that.
Okay,
right?
Interesting.
And
yeah,
the other thing I get that, and then on the other side is what does his D taste like? And my response is always sweet cash. So
tastes like sweet cash.
Sweet cash. And so here's the thing: is what my response is. Look, my competition is not Badger. My competition is me, right? My shitty habits, my laziness, right? My getting stuck in a rut, right? My unwillingness to try and change and reach for something. My trying to rely on my old practices, my old ways, my old habits, trying to do the exact same thing and not humbling myself and breaking my habits and swallowing that pride and getting after it.
Wow, that was
this guy is not my competition.
That was a big swallow of pride right there already. I think that's hard to say, Blake. I'm proud of you. I mean, that's right. To have that mentality, I think, is a very powerful one, and the one that you've had for a long time,
right,
throughout your life.
And to say, hey, man, and they my chat has heard me say it. I was like, look, man, you're not going to find a better streamer on planet Earth, Badger. That's one of the reasons why I grabbed him when we were nothings. We were nothings.
Right? I mean, 10 average viewers. I want to say for
is what we were doing, and I went, this guy is a freaking dynamo. It's only going to be time till the world gets a hold of him, and they're gonna figure it out, and they're gonna figure out what I figured out, 4 years ago, and he's gonna go crazy. And then January 8th of 2020, freaking look at that spike on that Terraria, man. We actually looked at earlier this week in chat.
Oh, did you?
Looked at Solino. Yeah, we went back and we were looking at Terraria viewership, and there is this perma spike, the best in any of the 5 years before analytics started to be taken, 2015 or so, 32, and they were consistent with release dates of Terraria content, right? And about once a year there'll be a deal, and it was 32K, 33K, 28K here, and there is one in 2020 that is 146,000. And that was the freaking video game badge.
We were looking at it last time you probably heard it the recording if you're listening on if you watched it, and I was like,
and dumped on everybody, man.
It was like, this must be a bug. Is what I said last.
It's a bug. Yeah,
literally looking at myself on the graph. It's weird because I'm looking.
Tuesday.
It's me. That was me on the graph. It was turning. It was GDQ turning their setting to Terraria on Twitch. Terraria's number one most watched game on Twitch at the time, right? I mean, obviously it's GDQ. And then on the graph, you see this huge spike, and and Max Frey said it in chat, and he was like, "You can see you in the graph, Badger." And I was like, "What do you mean you can see me?
You're in the graph." Yeah, it was Max. It was Max. Max said, like, you're that graph. That's you, buddy.
It's that's mind blowing. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Blake. And the faith that you put in me all these years, it has been easy. Let me tell you that right now. Okay, it has not been easy for Blake.
Oh,
how many times has he?
You don't even know.
You guys don't even know, because how many times has Blake come to me and I've just been like, "What? What do you want?
What do you want?
Do you need something?" How many times I have been prickly at live events? How many times have you been giving me great advice and I've ignored it? The list of wrongings on Blake goes on and on and on. All right, trust me. So
and there's those times where Badger goes, "Hey, man, I need to apologize to you," and I say, "Okay, well, it's about time." And you always say, "I don't even know what you don't even know what I'm going to apologize." I said, "Well, you just get started.
Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes."
I'll tell you when you're done.
Thanks for working with me, Blake. You're the best, man. So dedicate your life to it. All right, that was the last one we did. Right?
Yeah.
Dedicate your life to it?
Because like
you're competing, you're competing and you're not competing. Like we were talking about, there's you are and you aren't right. There's can only be one person on the top, but also the growing the pie. So you're competing against people who have been doing it for 10 years. So you're gonna have to put up a chunk of it. Like if you're like, I'll do it as a side thing, that's fine and it's fun to do.
Right.
But if you're wanting to be like, I want to make a business out of this, you need to buckle up, Buttercup, because it should be hell or high water.
If you want to do this forever, I mean, look no further than this dude here. I mean, look at the road that you took and you don't necessarily ever have to do this, because the guy that we want to have on to talk about his journey was Ox33. He started streaming in September and he was partnered by December
of 2015.
2015, yeah. It was bam. It was so fast. And it was what happened was Relogic had just released content, and for some reason, they liked Ox33 because he was playing, and they made him king. They a little kingmaker, and they said, we're going to retweet him, and we're going to host him, we're going to do the thing.
And he did CSGO and stuff as well. There's a bunch of things, yeah.
Sometimes it can happen, right? And sometimes you can do that, but at the same time, that first year that Badge wanted to do that, he streamed every day for an hour, and the first year flew by. He was a zombie, but he got after it. He has tons of YouTube videos. You can go see him out there with his cowboy hat and his Stardew Valley preview. And hello, is this one video better?
Wow! Yeah.
And you did it was like a 6-minute video, 11-minute video or something, and you immediately put your shoes on and left for work.
Yeah. Then so I get an email from Chucklefish giving me early access to Stardew Valley. I had just gotten up from bed. And I had 1 hour to get ready for work and go to work, to eat, do everything to get ready for work. Go to my desk, see my email. I turn on OBS, do recording right then, that second, edit it in Vegas, and upload it that second. And that's, I mean, I had to do it, right? It was absolutely necessary to have this early access as long as I had it. And I mean, that's what it was like. It was like, I got to work late that day. That's how. And
probably.
What are you willing to do that? Are you willing to have no time to do anything else?
Right.
Is that something I hope? I mean, if you love it.
I mean, how much TV did you watch that year?
How much YouTube did I watch? Is the question. Oh my God, how much YouTube did I watch that year?
Yeah.
Okay, so my last 5.
As you're drifting off to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
I think it was the only time I put a TTT on from Yogscast. So we talked about collaboration, right? And I think the one thing that we didn't talk about in that segment was work with people your size. So don't be a starting streamer and work with somebody who has 1,000 average viewers. Okay, the reason for that, the reason I say this is because when we talk about relationships have to be two-way streets. You can't have a one-way relationship. It doesn't work out. It will just never work out to have a one-way relationship. So in the case where you're starting out and you have 0 and they have 1,000, what can you give to them? Okay, if you can find something to give to them, sure, that's great. You're probably a moderator, or you're probably making content some other way or something like that. You've been involved in them in previously, but you can't help them with views. You can't help them with your follower count. And don't be a 1,000 average streamer that works with a 0 average streamer, because it works both ways. You're gonna feel unfulfilled in that relationship because they can't give back to you per se. Maybe they can find another way to give back to you, and that's fine, I guess. But as far as growth and stuff like that, find someone who's nearby you, find someone who's adjacent to you, and try working with them instead. Because if they have 10 average and you have 10 average, it makes a lot more sense to collaborate together than it would for if you have 100 average and they have 10 average. Then the scales are tipped. The more balance you can keep those scales, I think the better it is. Right. So working within your size is super important, and I think super hard to learn as well, especially when people are starting out, because it's kind of hard. I think that in general, we don't see a lot of value in people who have 3 average viewers. When the reality is 3 average viewers is actually a lot, man. That's actually pretty high on the scale of things. Like
there's having a long tail
of 0, right? So 90% of people who stream on Twitch have 0 average, right? They have nobody watching. They're turning OBS on, and that's it, right? And there's so many people doing that, broadcasting at 1080p, 60 FPS. Poor Twitch, they're having to deal with that entire load. And then there's the tiny 10% portion that actually has viewers, and then as your numbers increase, it gets massively smaller to where my current average puts me at like top point, not 1 point, but 0 point something, right? And top 1% of Twitch just by having, and I'm not even a big channel per se. So finding people to work along with, find value in those smaller people, the people who are the same size, work with them, and then you can do like Blake and I have done, where we started from nothing, and now we've slowly built up to
started from the bottom. Now we're here
to get to here. Ash is crawling underneath the desk again. You can't see him though. I think that's a big one. That's a hard one to internalize. I feel like, because you want to work with people who are way bigger than you.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately you do, but there are some times where you will see someone who is just starting out in streaming, and you'll go, "Oh my God, that guy's awesome."
Yes, there is this.
No one knows about him yet, but he's awesome, right? Or whatever that is.
That's because you played in a certain category, fenced. Most of the people who are streaming are in the top categories of Twitch, and no one is trickling down to Streamer 1000 and Apex Legends or Fortnite or League of Legends and stuff like that. That's where everybody's at. You were
right. But so the illustration I've just put in chat is long tail. That's a concept that goes off in its Pareto chart, where if you look at in our application up here with the big spike up there in the green, I guess if you look at the the picture in Wikipedia, the green is the top 10%. There it is. The top 10% have all the viewers, and then somewhere around
statistics.
three viewers, it goes all the way, and it's a long tail, and there's a ton of stuff. And so there's also a parallel in this from music sales that's pretty interesting. It's called the long tail in music.
Interesting.
So the top portion in the green is what is carried in Walmart. So Walmart has the ability to choose X number. It only has a certain number of shelves, and it can put X number of CDs or music or whatever on its shelves. And then that leaves the other 90% of all the other music made in the world to be all the way out there, not carried by Walmart. Well, where does that go? The answer is iTunes. iTunes says, you know what? There's a long tail out there. I want to tap into that because 90%, that's where 90% of the rest of the music is.
Right.
There's only 10% carried by Walmart. How do I tap into that 90%, right? How do I make money off that 90%?
Well, great stuff in chat right now.
Anyway, understand the long tail is a really good one.
Yeah, I think it's pretty important.
Two questions from Fenced In, or JD Plays is, one, did you see any bumps from Day 9 streaming Factorio? Only if they sustain it, or they directly host you. Usually someone huge may stream Terraria or stream Factorio, but they'll do it. Oftentimes they'll do it for a day to check out the video.
They usually give out. Basically, I mean,
there's no real lasting effect other than it doesn't. In my experience, doesn't really last. Right.
Same, I would say. So, like for example, XQC recently played Terraria, and the only real effect from that was that, hey, XQC's playing Terraria, and then I went over and looked, and I had a couple people come in the chat like, oh, cool, XQC's playing Terraria. And we talked about him, but maybe one or two new people would come in, but really it didn't. It's not like, so the only circumstance where that would change, I think, is when Terraria would be at the top of the browse page on Twitch. So like you go to games, and then Terraria would be at the top. That might get Terraria more clicks, but probably they're going to end up in that stream anyway.
By proxy, gets you more clicks later on. Right.
Or if people follow or people
So in your context, it's more AGDQ happened, right?
Right.
Terraria bust up to the main page. There's so many people that saw Terraria, so now that tide should have lifted all boats because it was kind of a general AGDQ thing.
I think that's proven as well. I can say that that's 100% the case because people come in and say, hey, I was catching up on GDQ on the YouTube channel, just saw your Terraria run, literally just now, came into the Terraria category to see you. Right. So, I mean, I know that's a thing, right? It's actually happening.
So that does happen, but it doesn't... it usually doesn't have a ton of. I mean, in Badger's case, it does because it was so huge and so prolific, and
so huge.
It transcended just a gamer's personality.
Yeah,
it's not like having a 2,000 viewer streamer. It wasn't. AGQ was so huge. A 2,000 viewer streamer.
Right, it's an organization that was doing stuff.
This was an organization. This was 146,000. Right, it was insane. Right.
So we had a question about exercise and how exercise fits into things. I think that to be creative, this is kind of a weird answer to it, but this is how I feel. To be creative, you need to have balance in your life. The moment that you get unbalanced on some things, like your exercise, just different aspects of your life, your relationships, when you get unbalanced, it becomes very difficult to be creative for me. So I have to have a balance with things. Like I can't.
It's common for all creators. Most creators have some sort of thing that they do that's not the task that they're supposed to do, that helps them unlock their creative side.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a bunch of them really, like out there. Like having good relationships, maintaining relationships, doing exercise, eating the way that you ought to be, getting sleep. Actually, going to sleep at the right time might be my biggest one. Exercise is very, very close to that, though. I get in a very if I don't do exercise, I'll get in a particular mood. It's very hard to get out of that mood, and then but the thing is, and this is why I don't like schedule very much. I don't like encouraging people to do schedule. It's because it's really, really hard to find out what works for you. and you're going to have to fail and iterate. All right. So you're going to have to find out working out on Monday in the morning doesn't work for me because bleh. And you're going to have to find a spot where exercise fits for you. You're going to have to find a spot where sleep fits for you. You're going to have to find a spot for strength fits for you.
Yeah.
And if you don't find those spots, then you're not going to be able to do it.
Right. And I guess implicit in my find a schedule and keep it, mine is all of that is implicit in the find, right? Is all that advice is implicit in the word find is
find schedule. Yeah.
Work through it. Try and find what works for you. Find what works for you. What you can do in a week's time and see what you can do.
Yeah. I guess my fear is that people like a schedule is 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's what a schedule is. Yeah. So you're not.
In your case, you had an extreme schedule, which is why you're very gun shy about the word schedule. I specifically
purposely put myself in front of an extreme schedule, but then I failed. I got in such the habit of that extreme schedule that I couldn't take it away, which is blech.
It was by the
end of the fourth year of no, it was the end of the third year. I was dying. I was dead. I was fucking.
In the first year, you had that. I'll just tell you from outside. From the first year, you wore that schedule more as a badge of honor.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it anymore.
I'm doing the shit.
I was 1,501. I just decided this time.
By the end of 1501, it was. I hate
this. I was hating it already.
I don't want to hit the button anymore.
You know the messed up thing about this is that Dizzy Disaster from the very beginning dissuaded me from doing that.
Yes,
don't do it.
I do remember.
He said it one time. He said it one time, and that was it. This Badger, you shouldn't do that. I don't think it's good for you. And I was like, well, I think it's working great. And then, I didn't take his advice. And then later on, when I start talking about how I'm reflecting on the 1,501 day challenge that I did, and I'm like, wow, it was a really bad thing for me. I set a bad precedent. There was issues with it. I should have taken time. Then he came back and he was like, yeah, I'm really glad that you've grown from that spot where.
Oh, I remember him saying something about someone else. Oh, that's what it was. Sorry.
Yeah, and then we had a conversation very quickly after that about the very, very long stream time in 1 month. Kind of deal.
Yes, and the long stream time in a month, and he was saying like the same people who will applaud this guy for doing something so crazy. It was
next step, right then.
Yeah. So it was some. Okay. The context was some guy had set the record for the most amount of streamed hours in 30 days.
Right.
And it was
60 hours a day. So we're like, you were getting deficient amount of sleep for a 30-day period, which sleep deprivation, by the way, chronic sleep deprivation is actually dangerous. Like going a day without sleeping, not a big deal. You're no real long-term effect.
Izzy's amazing point was the same people who will applaud this guy being quote dedicated and
in the next tweet, they're gonna.
And the very next tweet will be a tweet advocating for taking time and be mental health. Well, you can't do
self-care. You can't do both. You can't kick your own ass and also take care of yourself. It just doesn't work like that.
And Dizzy was going, what is it, man? The same guy
pick one, nerd.
who will applaud this guy for dedication will absolutely come out and be the number one advocate.
The thing about it is that they weren't even applauding his dedication. They were like, look at his stat increases. Wow, so amazing. They're validating that human being based on their statistical increases. And at the same time, and this is my problem with this, is that they're showing younger people who don't have experience that, and me included in this, when I was starting out, this is the impression that I had, that it's necessary, it's required for you to grind your ass off and do 8-hour days in order to be successful. That's what success is from, is having that ability to do so. And it's just wrong. It's just straight up wrong. It's just incorrect. You're going to end up hurting people. You're going to give people health issues. Like literally, you will. Chronic sleep deprivation is not okay. You will die.
It sucks.
It causes tons of problems.
There's a great TED talk on sleep deprivation. Go check it out. It was a guy.
It's like going insane.
His opening salvo was, as a man, if you have chronic sleep deprivation, your testicles over time will increase 200%, and your incidences of cancer will increase X number of percent. And he says, that's the best news I have for you today about sleep deprivation. Here we go. Like buckle up. It's going to get worse.
And there's so many other things to do besides just streaming. It's like there's all the things that we talked about today. Being present in another person's chat. That's work too, man. That's not nothing. There's a lot going on there.
It's not nothing.
Sorry, it's just off on a tangent. I wanted to talk about the things that chat was asking. So one of the questions was,
there's one other one. So he said, "Hey, did you after you teamed up with Z1, did you see any bumps?" I statistically insignificant. I had number one. I had a great time with Z1. He's awesome. I'd team up with him regardless. He and I are kindred spirits that we met at PAX South a year ago. Number two, I've had a couple of people come and say, "Hey, come talk to me later on with Factorio," and say, "Hey, I met you through Z1." And, "Oh yeah, hi."
Okay, cool.
And I'm sure he's had people say, "Hey, I met you through Clown or whatever,"
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I have that all the time with people I collaborate with.
But in terms of my average viewers were 105, and now they went to 108 after Z1. No,
it's a bit of a funky thing, because I think what a lot of people don't know about average viewer count is what's actually happening is that you're getting a constant influx of new people, and then people are also constantly leaving. So it's not just about having lots of folks, it's about having a flow of people. So because like when we look at your unique views, thousands of unique views in a day, like 3,000 unique views, but averaging 200. Okay, so 3,000 unique people came in, but they go in and out such that your average kind of balances to this. So I think that it has more of an impact than it might seem. And I think that, there's collaboration gives you the thing about a collab, really, for me, that what I really want to do is a collab is an opportunity to get in front of new people and make new friends. And when you can genuinely make those new friends, make those connections, take the chance to do that, I think that's a really big deal. I think that's like the thing. The thing. If you're gonna take one thing away from this, networking really is, it's just making a friend. Because like it's at the end of the day, if you're not friends with someone, it's just pointless to even spend time with them. If you don't like them, then don't network with them. Basically, it's so there was how do you motivate yourself to a stream when you don't feel like it? Fucking don't. All right, that's not how it works. Okay, there's no human being is a robot where you can hit a freaking button and you're gonna feel better about yourself. Take a damn day off. Don't do it then.
Yeah, don't be afraid to.
Don't be afraid to. If you're feeling like you need to take time off, definitely take time off. Think about it like this way: if I'm gonna get on stream and my intention is to provide an environment for my audience that's happy, what mood do I need to be in order to do that? Am I in that mood? Am I not in that mood? What do I need to do to get in that mood? What does it look like for my systems, for my schedule, to put myself in that place? Maybe taking time off is the right thing to do. Now, having said that, there is moments, where you got to do your schoolwork, and it doesn't matter how you feel. All right, you need to. I think the army stuff is a lot better. You need to go move that boulder.
Nobody wants to eat your broccoli, but guess what? You got to eat
your broccoli. You got to move the boulder. So, and there are moments where you're going to have to give yourself a kick in that. So what I do in this situation a lot of time, if I'm feeling like I at least can start the stream, I will say to myself, Badger, you will do 1 hour of streaming, and then you will see how you feel. Okay, and don't feel bad about walking away. You can't feel bad about walking away. Don't feel bad about continuing. Okay, so you're gonna have to take some opportunities to see what works for you. I hate giving the advice. You gotta find out what works best for you. But if you're not experimenting with new ways to find out what works best for you, that's what I'm saying here. You need to try new stuff to find out. So maybe for you, 30 minutes is what you need. You need to turn your stream on 30 minutes. See how you're feeling. Actually, talking about stream length times, stream length times I would suggest anywhere from 2 to 6 hours. I think that's a pretty good stream length.
That's a good one. Yeah,
I think that's fine. I think doing 8 hours, fine. 12 hours, fine. It's not too big a deal.
Shorter, you don't make an impact. Too long, you drag on a little bit.
The issue with too long is energy. It depends what type of streamer you are. Like if you're a Path of Exile grinder, not too big a deal to be very energetic. But if you're a personality streamer, you kind of want your personality to be there, and it's hard to keep a very energetic personality. I'm saying this, and I'm 6 hours 30 minutes in streaming today. It's just hard to have that personality, that energy, too long in his streaming. So you need to find that spot. You need to find what's going to work for you. The reason I say 2 hours as a minimum is because a 30-minute stream is not long enough to have all the follow notifications that you sent out to be clicked on and to be seen, and you kind of want to wait for that to happen. So what I would suggest for you to find your ideal stream time is monitor your energy levels, see how you're feeling, see how when you're being energetic, when you feel like your stream is entertaining, and then also look at your view count increase. So look at your stats to see as you're increasing to see where you're hitting your peak and then where you're starting to drop.
So I want to give you a challenge here. So giving 30 minutes a time to make, we'll call that making an impact, right? So you said, hey, 30 minutes is too short to make your impact with your follow notifications, etc. I've landed on the 7 minutes from when I hit the button to when I say my first word is 7 minutes long, and I play a little music to let everybody get in.
So you looked at your stats, seen at like when your peak is like where you're jumping up the most, and then what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to jump into your stream to engage the most people right and then. And
to let everybody get there first, and then we hit the crescendo on the intro, and then we go. And there's people that show up just for that crescendo, and we say, yeah, we do the applause, we do the thing, right? You're the opposite.
I am the opposite. Yeah. So I was just gonna say, I don't have any.
Like, all right, here we go.
You better get fucking here fast because I started already. I think that's a really good thing that I do in my stream. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like if I've thought about doing 5 minutes and concentrating the content right then and there, but I think that being there instantly as soon as my notification goes live has people like, oh shit, oh damn. Well, they get the notification on their phone and they're like going to their computer, turning stuff on, right? They're like, oh, I need to get in there because I mean, people like to say like, okay, so so for me, when my start stream happens, people are like, hi Badger, how you doing? I'm saying everyone's name and talking to them, so that there's a big activity spike at the start of stream. Yeah. So I like no time.
Everybody gets in and they start doing the little spin game.
Yeah, you're doing their spins.
We do a bunch of interaction, and I will just say that your first 30 to 45 minutes of streaming is probably the best. Is peak Badger.
You think so? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure.
But here's the thing: is if you gave everybody 60 seconds to just and get over there and I gotta go pee. I gotta pee before I sit down and talk to Badger.
No, right? You don't get that. All right, I'm there. You better be ready. All right, noon CDT, 6 p.m. UTC, 7 p.m. EU time. Yeah, I've thought about it a lot, doing a 5-minute start stream or a 2-minute 30-second start stream. And I think everyone has their own kind of thing for this, what they want to do. I don't think there's so many no wrong answer situations here on Twitch or during content creation.
So today, the funny story is today
exactly, Whiskey Pete. If I'm on schedule, you better be too. Here's what Whiskey Pete just said.
So I started today. I hit my I called Mom. I was all ready. I called my mom to say Happy Mother's Day, and so we started talking. And then as the conversation started to take the tone of rapping.
Okay.
I hit the button and started so that I could just kind of coast off of Mom and coast on. Well, that wasn't the end. Mom had some more stuff to say.
I see.
So we went all the way to zero, and the timer ticked down to 7 minutes, 0, and then I think we were 4 minutes over. So I played some music, and I was typing in chat going, hang on, talking to Mom, Happy Mother's Day. So it was me in chat and a song. And it was a Mother's, and I was still on the phone.
I see. Because it's Mother's Day.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. It's Madre's Day after all. Yeah.
It's Mom's Day. So that took a little bit of time. And a lot of times what I will do is, and my starting tool is, it's 7 minutes from hit the button, and I play 7 minutes worth of songs. But I never, if 7 minutes happens, I don't interrupt the current song. I let it go an extra 30 or 45 or whatever the song ends, and then I start mine, and then off we go.
Okay. Yeah.
So it always goes to Soon, and everybody complains about, hey, where is he? It's 20 seconds. It's been sitting on Soon for 20 seconds. What's going on?
If I have a BRB timer, people in my chat start typing Soon in all exclamation points or all caps.
Yes.
Soon. So lots of good stuff today. A lot of good questions today. Let's take like 1 or 2 more questions and we'll get out of here.
Right.
Let's hold on. There was more stuff earlier. We did exercise.
Oh, here's a good one. What this came up in my chat today, and I said mine, but what is yours? Do you have any backup streaming equipment on standby, ready to go in case something breaks?
Yeah, I have a second computer that's mostly put together, and I could stream from it. I have multiple cameras. I have another microphone as well. Yeah, I pretty much have a redundancy for all of them. Oh, no, you know what? I don't have redundancy for my Roland, my Behringer, or my Pro Channel 2, but I could stream without them. And then you know what? This is also a redundancy, right? I'll just plug this sucker in and go from there. We'll be fine. Right. That's fine.
Right. Mine is I have a mouse, I have a keyboard. For sure. I've got backup, I guess technically backup headphones. I've got a backup router.
Nice. Wow.
Because that's failed before, and I ordered, and as soon as it failed, I ordered 2 of them.
You know what was really interesting to me? I was talking to Ped today, and I was like, do you use your ISP's router? Oh no, they call it a box over there. So he was talking about, they switched out my box, and I was like, oh, do you use a modem or router that you
Like
purchased?
modem, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah. So they have it's all on one. So yeah, cable modem exactly.
Right.
And he was like, you could do that? I don't think I've ever done that. Is that a thing? Can you do that? So because I have they were provided for my ISP. I purchased my hardware, my modem, and my router myself.
For years, they always gave it to me, and then this last one where I replaced it,
you bought it yourself?
They don't give it. Yeah, they say go to Best Buy.
Oh, really?
Go get you one, and your ISP gives you X amount of service. Go make sure your modem that you buy can go up to X amount of service, and then you can go buy it and put it. It was like $150 or something like that.
Right. So that's the thing here too. You quote unquote rent them, but you
used to.
Right.
That switched it for me in 2019. I'd always had the cable company's modem. Correct.
Interesting. So for me, they said, yeah, you have to rent it, and I said no, I will not pay. I just no, I'm not doing that. And then they're like, okay, well, you have to have a guy come to the house to set it up. And I was like, no, it's working, because I plugged it in, right? Because they tap a switch, right? That's internet to this house, basically, right? And that I think since I want to say 2015, actually since like 2010, I have been using my own router and modem, and I found it so much better than using ISPs. Because my logic here is that the ISP is paying kind of like the Army does, lowest bidder. Like, how cheap can we make this heckin' modem?
Yes.
Like, how cheap can it be?
Correct. Right. So mine have always been separate. I think there was one time in my life where your modem came with its own router. I think it was like an AT&T deal.
So there's deals like there's modem router combos like that and on store.
Most of the last say, I'm gonna say 8-10 years that I've had.
You sign a contract on your internet? Wow.
Yes, they do. But it's been company modem, my router, right? It's always been separate. Company modem, my router, right?
Okay.
And this year, it went from my modem, my router, and all they're doing is giving it a service.
See, the thing is, if you just bought a router and plugged it in, they wouldn't have noticed.
I don't think so.
See, so what they've told me,
a router modem combo.
What they told me was that there's like a number attached to the router, and you can't use it unless I just plugged it in. It works.
Oh, screw it. Screw you guys.
So there's different ones. Sorry, that was just a tangent that popped in my head.
But that's good.
As far as streaming stuff is concerned, you should try your own router, try your own modem, see if it gives you increased consistency, because the hardware could be better.
I got backup cameras. I think the only thing I don't have a backup is a backup monitor. I could probably stream from Ash's computer if I had to, but it's got 2 monitors over there. I've got 3 on mine. I think with as long as I have Ash's computer here, I guess you're correct. I didn't think about it, but now that you said it, I do have a completely backup system
nice.
that I could go live
on
if I had to.
His,
But yeah, otherwise I have everything. Usually about every 3 months, 6 months or so, I'll go update, look at all the pricing, and I have at least in mind ready for purchase a backup of anything or everything that I need. Like I've got a backup mixer ready to go. I've got a backup mic.
Don't let your webcam break right now.
There, that could do it. Huh?
Don't let your webcam break. Don't let your green screen break right now. Can't buy them.
Right.
They're unpurchasable at the moment.
Oh yeah. I know. Oh yeah. Supply chain's jacked right now, right?
Super foobar.
Right. Oh, one other thing I want to tell you.
Okay, Yeti for my backup mic. JD?
Backup mic. Yeah,
just a Blue Yeti.
I've got another one of exactly one of these from my podcast days. I've got 4 of them in the box over there. One, mine and Ash.
Do you?
2 others over there.
Yeah, wow, I didn't know that.
I bought a 4-pack a million years ago when I had my vision for a podcast. Okay. Speaking of, let's do this one before. I have insight on the world of Las Vegas, Nevada through my parents.
Yeah.
And.
Oh yeah. Okay. I wanted to talk about focusing on the difference between playing a game and streaming.
Your gamer streamer games. All right. You want to do that one first? Do that one first.
Yeah, sure. So I think the people in the chat were talking a little bit about how it's very easy to get distracted by the game that you're playing and forget about chat, right? Especially when you're starting out and your chat is never moving. It's very easy to have that one new person come in chat and say hi, and it takes 6 minutes to respond to them, which is totally unacceptable, right? The thing that we want to do as streamers is it's called instant gratification for our viewer, right? When they donate, when they type, When they do the things that we want to incentivize them to do, we instantly give them feedback to it. Right? We don't want to delay it. And this applies to all content creation fields. When you get a YouTube comment, the best thing to do is strike while the iron's hot and reply to the YouTube comment. It's gonna cause a lot of different feelings for the person leaving the comment. A lot of time, when I reply to things, it'll be like, I don't think you're gonna see this, which is like the most, I don't know. It's like, and then I reply to it, and they have that, that wow, actually, I'm actually valued, right? It matters. Like me sending in this comment was not useless. So it's unacceptable to miss chat. So let me ask you a question, and you're gonna have to this is why I say find a mentor. Is how do you see yourself? Are you a pro gamer, or are you what is your deal? Like, what is it like for you? So the way I don't think I'm a pro gamer really. I just like chatting. I like talking. I like making friends. I like talking to people. That's why I find it. That's why I focus on chat.
He's chatter. Chatter.
Here's what I'm going to show you. This is how I look at my chat. So you can see on Blake's forehead right now. So Blake is on my main monitor where my game would go, and then right where his that box is. That's how I read chat. Chat is actually overlaid on top of my main monitor. So while I'm doing a speed run, chat is actually obscuring part of the screen. That's how much emphasis I put on chat interaction. That's how it is important. How important it is to me. Where it's literally on top of my speed run, over top of my speed run. That's how important it is to interact with chat. Where is your importance?
It's not. And by the way, it is not so he'll catch a mistake in a speed run. It's so that he prioritizes chat. Chat is not helping him with a speed run.
It really is not. Sometimes they definitely do help, but overall,
rare. But that's not why that window is there is to save the run. It's not right.
So what you're gonna have to look at yourself. What is more important to you? What is streaming about for you? Do you want to have that same level? Rate it. Do I want to have good gameplay? Do I want to be chat interactive? Do I just want to crack? Do I want to be funny? Because there's another stream out there. This stream is different, right? We're not reading a lot of chat. We're not necessarily saying every single line in chat. I'm not saying hi to people who come in who are new because it's a different environment, right? This is more of an audio based. This is the streamer's stream kind of deal, like we were talking about earlier. So that changes, right? And it's okay to be different. Like a lot of different things work. Where do you fit into that? Right? Where are you at right there?
Yeah, that's my saying. Is are you a gamer who streams, or are you a streamer who games? And
I think that means that are you a broadcaster in a professional sense, or are you just kind of throwing your stream on kind of deal?
Well, it's very different because my attitude when I first started, of course, was I had a lot of wrong attitudes when I started.
Same.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
Everybody does. All right. My thing was, hey, I'm playing games anyway. Why not just turn on the camera and crack wise?
Which is fine. I don't think that was wrong to have that go at.
And then I think I ended up in MC Games channel. He was playing Terraria something, and he said something that stuck with me for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And it was
sometimes it'd be like that.
He says, "Are you a streamer? Are you a gamer who streams, or are you a streamer who games?" Because he was talking with Fuzzles, his buddy, about it, and he was saying, "Look, what are you doing? What are you doing on Twitch? Because you could be a gamer, you don't have to be on Twitch."
Yeah, and it's okay to be a gamer and not expect to grow or to have viewers. You're just streaming, right? It's for your buddies, maybe.
And then I went, oh,
which am I?
Yeah, this is a different place. The rules are not necessarily different, and people value different things here. So
the reason that it was different also is I think that you didn't have your backwards planning kind of, but you sort of did, because Blake knew that he wanted to do podcast stuff, right? Blake knew that he wanted to do audio stuff, and then this was an outlet on his creative outlet where he's like, hey, I'm gaming already, right? Let me do this thing, and then it developed, and then it kind of put together.
Back we were saying the leverage of talent. I'm already doing X. I'm already a good artist. I'm already a thing. Can I leverage that into new content, and can I make something out of it? Make something of a passion I already have already.
Yeah.
Passion and activity.
Actually, I want to go back real fast on something I talked about earlier with working with people of your same size, because I was thinking to myself, and I think that there's an exception to this rule. And Blake was talking about it when he said, there's this person that I really like, and they would be really a lot better if I just helped them out. I think that is something that's going to naturally occur to everybody as they kind of grow, right? Mm-hmm. So, you're a dentist, you work in the dentistry field. Probably you're going to identify people in your field like, man, this person's really good. They've only just started out, but they have some really good ideas about how to help. Dentistry is probably a terrible example. Maybe like the film industry or something like that.
He's going to have a big impact on teeth.
On teeth, yeah. He's going to have a big impact in the movie scene. Let me, help this person out, even though they don't have anything. And that can actually be a fulfillment for you, and that's a way that you can be fulfilled by helping a person to get to someplace. I was thinking about that as I talked about it.
Yeah, for sure. There's huge potential. Just hadn't had the exposure. I mean, that was.
I think there's a lot of people like that. I know people like that. I mean,
yeah. There's a lot of folks like that then they end up quitting, and they say, "Look, shoot, man, that guy's way more talented than I am."
That's my biggest fear, man. Investing in someone who quits. Like I just have that constant. Oh God, I don't want to. It's really tough because there's been so many streamers who quit.
Yeah, a lot. God damn, that was such a great line in your.
Oh, fans, sorry, I didn't mean to call you out.
Somebody. I don't remember who it was. Somebody comes into your chat and says, "Hey, man, Badger, guess what? I finally got affiliate today."
Oh, jeez.
And I'm sorry, he hates it when I say this, but he says, "Oh, congratulations, you're halfway to quitting."
Okay, the reason though that I said that, all right, as I remember it better as we've talked about it a couple of times, is I had never seen that person before. Okay, all right, that's the biggest thing. I had never talked to them before. They came in and like, "Hey, I'm halfway. I got affiliate," and my mind went to, you are celebrating something that you got by employing good systems, and you're not celebrating your systems.
Yeah.
And that's why, congratulations. You don't know why you're doing it. You just got this goal just because you thought it was a goal. You don't even know what you did right to succeed right now. Congratulations, you're halfway to quitting on this thing that you think is fulfilling you, and it's really not.
But here's the thing. Badger's right. So many streamers. The illogical end of streaming is quitting. It really is. I mean, think about how many 5-year guys are out there. 1, 2, maybe. I don't know.
And we know a couple.
We know a couple. It's hard. It's not. One, it's not easy. It's not as easy as it looks. 2, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
For sure.
Like it's
for sure.
What I'm saying is be ready to dedicate your life to it.
Yep, that's a great tip. Great tip. That's why we got one of the top tips right there. Be ready, because if you're not, I agree with a ton. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon. We want to give our viewers instant gratification. We ourselves want to pursue delayed gratification. A great example: the most popular YouTube video I have, one that I posted years ago.
Which one?
The commentary of Ningishu speedrun, not even my own speedrun. And so me in my element commentating, and then an actual, a good run there. That's my most prolific YouTube video in 2020 right now. So that's what I'm talking about, where it was really delayed gratification. I put that up on YouTube years ago, right? And still today it's giving me dividends. Hey, I had someone come in the chat today. Hey, I just watched the Ningishu run that you commentated on. It's really cool to catch your live stream. That's the kind of thing. That's the number trickle that you're working for. Where it's not like, man, I had a great day today necessarily. Because I tell you what, a lot of times streaming is dog shit. All right, it feels like you're getting pissed on. You're giving all your energy. Ain't shit coming back. How people have done? I know you. It's one of the most crushing jobs. It's definitely the most stressful job I've ever had. Easily one of the most crushing feelings to look at your stats and be like, oh yeah, you're 17% down this week.
Yes,
jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly. If you enjoyed it, it's exactly right. And that's the thing is Badger's best of all of the stuff he's done in Terraria, the records he set, all of that. His best shining was looking at someone else's badass work, not even his badass work.
Not even mine, not even mine. I mean, my runs still get views, but it's just not the most popular. And
but that's how crushing it is. It's like as good as much as hours and hours and hours and hours and hours you practice speedrunning. And try and fail and try and fail and try and fail. Never as high as you get this one dude who has this one video, and you talked about that dude, and there you go. There's your moment.
That's my video.
You talked about his moment.
My moment is it's my own. Look, it's a derivative content, you fucker. All right, listen. All right, wow. Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate a ton. Let's find someone to raid. You're fantastic.
Okay, we can get out of here.
That's the most important thing.
We'll save COVID and Vegas and some other stuff.
Yeah, we got tons of stuff. This is one of my favorite EAYs, I want to say.
It's good stuff.
If you guys need anything from us,
I have a list of 6 things. We're going to get to 2
of them, yeah. And we made up some ones as well. If you guys need anything from us, hit us up. Let us know. Send us DMs. We don't mind. Well, I guess I don't mind. You can send me whatever. Talk to me about stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Look, if you need anything, there's ways to get to us. There's Discord, there's YouTube, Twitter, there's Twitch. You can just message us. If you need anything, anything at all, you just want to talk or something, don't call me. Call Badger. He's way more accessible than I am. You guys can piss off.
Yeah, you can send me a message, man. I'm happy to chat. All right. Oh yeah, what about your eye? What happened with your eye?
Okay. So in the morning, do you want to show it? You want to show the picture, or can I don't know if you can.
I'm out of here. Maybe we'll talk about it next time.
Oh, you want to save it? But I got pictures.
We have
so
pictures,
it's not going
so it's not a big deal.
Okay, we'll save it.
Wait, did the raid work? Invalid username.
Oh, it's all right. We're going.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. All right.
Spelled that wrong.
Sorry, Allie. Sifta. What about my eye?
Is that working? There we go. We're gonna go raid Spartans too. Thanks for being here, everybody. Extra strength raid. If you have the raid call, there it is. If you want to do that, stick him up, Badger, bring him love. We're gonna go raid our buddy who's playing RimWorld, Spartan Stew. We met him at TwitchCon. He's a good dude. I like him a lot. Yeah. He's a great chap. He does singing and all dumb stuff. Stay motivated. All right, that's the most important thing. If you're motivated, you can do anything. Stay awesome because you know you're awesome. We'll see you next time. And remember, wash your hands.
Wash your hands.